What about funding? And independents are very concerned about funding. They don't really feel they have enough money there, and a lot of criticism of PSNC in the negotiations with the Department of Health. Could the PSNC be doing more in terms of their negotiations for funding of pharmacy?
Funding is an issue. It's been an issue for some time because the profits are falling in pharmacy, and it's understandable because of the pressures that are happening. And PSNC are doing a good job in itself, but obviously the pharmacists are not making enough noises to the PSNC of what they require, and therefore the PSNC is doing the best deal it is doing. It's not really, I personally don't think the PSNC is engaged with the independents to know what they want. They feel that they are, but I do personally, when I talk to the independents, they often say to me, why did the PSNC did this?
Yes.
Well, they did that because they did not engage themselves with PSNC, and this is one reason the message is very clear in this conference and in the previous one. Everyone wants to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And what about the fact that your pharmacist is going to have to collaborate with GPs? Is that going to be an easy relationship, do you think? I mean, there seems to be a sense of unease between the two professions, perhaps even a sense of distrust. Can GPs and pharmacists work alongside each other? Or indeed, will GPs embrace pharmacy?
Well, the new NHS has put this in its core. GPs are going to run the consortium. If pharmacists don't collaborate with GPs, they're going to be left out. I think the new structure of NHS will require pharmacists and GPs and dentists working together. If that doesn't happen, then I feel we will be losers when I say we, the pharmacists. But I think the new changes will force pharmacists to actually collaborate. And that came out very clear from Lisa Silver this time when she talked about commissioning. Pharmacy are part of it, but if they don't talk to the commissioners, I think they will be left. But I think it will happen.
But the future looks bright, generally speaking.
Well, it definitely is bright. We are moving from the 20th century to the 21st century, and therefore we will go differently. But if we do what is happening, I think the future is really bright for pharmacy. But I think it requires a commitment and a willingness to change.
Thank you very much for joining us, Barry. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much, Neil, for coming to Thailand. I really appreciate your coming and reporting us. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you. I'm with Trevor Gore, Sales Development Controller at Reckitt Benckiser. Thanks for joining us, Trevor.
No problem, Neil.
Are you enjoying the conference?
Superb conference. I think the quality of both the venue and the speakers has been exceptional.
Yes, absolutely. So what's your advice to pharmacists who are really concerned about the way the future is at the moment, what could happen in the future, and how can they improve their revenue?
I think, you said in the question, is what could happen in the future. There's all sorts of things that could happen in the future. There are things we know are going to happen in the future, and it's those they should look at first. There's been a lot of guidance given over the last 2 days about how to increase your business on generics, like you've got an OTC, what services should look like, and it's to take those away and do something with them. I attend a lot of conferences, and there's a lot of talking goes on. It's do something with it. If you just go back and talk about it, it's no good. CPD, it ends up in action and evaluation. Go back, try something, evaluate, did it work? If not, modify it. But please do something.
Yeah, absolutely. From what you know about pharmacists, your experience dealing with them, do you get the sense that they are ready to embrace the changes, or do you think some of them are procrastinating, perhaps sheltered in the sense they don't really think this is going to affect them?
I think it's like any cohort of professionals. There'll be the 20% who are already there doing it. There'll be the 60% who are thinking about maybe getting involved, and 20% who are saying it doesn't affect me. I will carry on regardless. That last 20%, I don't think we'll ever get to. I think we have to look at the 60% who are saying, okay, I want to do it. Give me some help and some guidance, which is what this conference is about.
Yes, yeah. What about issues such as funding? I know it's a big subject and of debate as well amongst pharmacists. PSNC have come in for criticism in terms of what they've been doing with the Department of Health. Is the criticism unfair, do you think, with the PSNC?
It's hard to say because the PSNC negotiates behind closed doors. So I don't know whether the deal they got on, say, the NMS was the best deal out there, because I don't know what the negotiation looked like. I know the deal doesn't seem, in terms of getting funding to the right place at the right time, doesn't seem that fair, and already contractors are complaining that they're doing them for free because it doesn't work. So it doesn't seem fair, but none of us know what was on the table. I think one thing everybody will have to agree is that the NHS and the country is bankrupt, and they want to save 20 billion over 4 years, and everybody will be asked to contribute to that 20 billion, and hoping pharmacy can be away from that is flying in the face of common sense.
Yes, another huge bone of contention is the 100-hour exemption amongst pharmacists and these 100-hour pharmacies. How important is it for that situation to be resolved, even for that loophole to be closed?
I think it has to be closed. I think what should happen, independent pharmacy particularly should all get together and say in any locality and fight it. We've seen it can be done across the country when people get together. Quite often independents feel isolated on their own and just complain about it rather than say, actually, let's do something about it.
Yeah.
One of the most effective campaigns ever was when pharmacies were going to be leapfrogged all over the place, and pharmacists got their customers to write into MPs. Phenomenally effective. Do it again. You've got 1.6 to 1.8 million people visit community pharmacy every day. No politician ignores them.
Of course, yes, and of course, as you mentioned before, I suppose pharmacy has its destiny in its own hands. How important is it in that respect for pharmacists to focus on their businesses, not worry about what's going on elsewhere, but also to develop things like front of shop and product layout?
Well, as I mentioned in my presentation, they are in their own hands. Be mindful of what the competitors are doing, but you won't run your business by looking at Boots. Boots are going to run their business. You look at your business and you see the thing that Boots aren't doing, or what you could do better, or what works for your demographic. You're not Boots, don't try and be. Don't try and get into the model that Asda, etc., using of cutting the price of medicine. It doesn't work for independent pharmacy. Look at your business, look at your strengths. Be mindful of the competitors, but have a vision for your own business.
Sure. Trevor, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much, Neil.